Hello everyone, and I hope you're all having a good day. This is Ben Jammin from Jammin Studios, and today we're going to be talking about the Animation Player. And so I do have a sprite that I already have made for myself right in here in my system. And what we're going to do is we're just going to open up the player and we'll get started. But if you like this video today, please subscribe to my channel. If you like the content as well, give a like and hit the bell icon if you want to see when I upload, which I try to aim for about every week. And please leave down a comment below if you want to see more content like this. What else do you want to see? Do you have any questions about programming? Anything that you think that is a secret to that every programmer has? There really isn't, but if you ask the question, I will answer it. And let's just jump right in. So we're going to go and open up our player scene here, and we're going to add a child. So you want to make sure you right click player and add child. And we're going to do animation player, add that in. But before we do anything, we have to make sure that we get rid of the sprite in there. So we're going to delete that one, and we're going to move our player into there. And this guy is supposed to be a prisoner as well. So your image, if you did put one in, since it's pixel art, it will be filtered, which means that it will look blurry. So what you want to do is you want to come down to the file system and select your image, then go up top to import. Then you'll see a whole bunch of stuff. You want to make sure you go to filter, and this will be check marked. It'll be looking like that. You want to make sure that it's off, so there should be no check mark there. And it's very important that you hit re-import, or else it's just not going to work. So once you hit re-import, you can go back to scene. It is all good now. You want to make sure you now click the sprite, because we don't want a whole bunch of dudes like that. So we're just going to go over to the right over here, and we're going to minimize all of these by going to animation, and you'll see vertical frames. So we're just going to hit that. Now we have one line. Now we're going down to horizontal frames, and we're going to go till we have one person. Fantastic. Now let's move down the list to collision shape. We're actually going to get rid of this rectangle one, and we're going to go with a capsule shape. We're going to hover it right over the guy, and now we're just going to shrink it down till it fits him, until it looks perfect. Just like that. Boom. Now, the animation player, the whole point of this video. So we're going to go down, and we're going to click animation player on the left side, and make sure that you are on the animation tile. Now, the next part is very important. So this is how you create your animations. You're going to select the animation and hit new. For our first one, we're obviously just going to go with the idle. So this is just him standing still. Now to navigate this, down at the bottom right, there should be a slider next to the magnifying glass. That basically just zooms you in and out. We're going to make sure that we're zoomed in a bit. Then you see to the left of it these snap options. Ours is at 0.1. So what that is, it's going to be 0, 0.1, 0.2. That's where our frames will be at, and that's where our blue icon here will snap to as well. It'll move to. Then over to the right, so above the slider, you see this 1. We can actually cut it down to 0.4, and you see now the highlighted portion only goes to 0.4. That means, so what that highlighted portion is basically when this player runs, it'll just run to 0.4 and stop. It won't go past. And then to the right of 0.4, you see the arrows that are pointing at each other. That is just basically looping. If you want this animation to loop, you will select it and it will turn blue. So now we're going to go back to 0 because that will be the start of our animation. And now to actually create the animations, we're going to select the sprite. And we're going to make sure we have our the idle one set up. So I'm just going to scroll through here. That looks like the one we want. So you see these key plus ones. Those mean you can start a animation with those. If they don't have a plus, that means you cannot start, or you need something else, another track. So what we're going to do is we're going to click the key plus on the frame 0, and we're going to hit create. Now you see we have our little frame right there. So now we're just going to go to point 1. Now you got to click up. That's the little annoying part, but you'll get used to it at least. And we're going to just keep hitting the key over and over again. And now we have our idle animation. Then we're going to make a new one. This one's going to be walk, which is going to be our next animations. So we're just going to make the exact same thing. Yep. So that should be, yep. So we're going to go boom, create. We're just going to go, now that's done for the walking. Now we want to go to animation, new, and create jump. Yep. All right. So boom, create. There. Oh, messed up. I messed up. See? To delete, you want to select and then hit delete key. Alright, so now we gotta go back to sprite. There. Boom, boom, and boom. So we want to make sure we know this frame right here. We want to make sure we know what that frame is. And it is, that is the 10th frame. That will be very important for this sprite sheet later. So the 10th frame. Now we can save it. And we're going to go back up to the script now. All right. So in the script, we want to go just before here, because I like to do some organizations. And we're going to do an onReady var animation player equals the animation player. So what this basically is saying is on ready, so when the script and everything, all like the childs and nodes and things like that are ready, then set this variable equal to that node. And if you make the $sign, it will then access any child of that node. And you can access the child of that node and that node and that node. All you have to do is just the name. You have to do $sign name of child slash name of child slash name of child, and so on and so forth. And you can do this with onReady var, and you can also do it in the func ready function. So then we're going to make one more, and it's the onReady var for the sprite. Boom. So now we need to start accessing the animations. So this one's the UI left. So our character is moving left, and it's moving. So we want to go to the AnimationPlayer.play walk. So that means if we start this up, our tiny little guy there should be able to start walking. I also forgot to do something. Hold on. So jump, that's not going to be looping. Our walk one though will be looping. that will need to be looping. Then our idle one, that will also be looping. So make sure you guys are looping your scenes. So let's just do that again. Our tiny little guy there. Yep, you can see that it is looping now. You can see just there. All right, now you want to do that same thing in the right one. So we're going to copy and just paste. All right. Now the up. So we are going to then do an animation player dot play jump, just like that. So if we jump, you see that it is slowly playing, but you can tell that we're not moving. So that means it did play something. Now our last one, which is the idle one, what we're gonna have to do is do actually an else statement. So right here we're gonna do else animation player dot play idle. So that means, well, we gotta do something first, but what we're gonna try and do is if you're not going left or right, then basically just stand still and play the animation that shows it to. And in order to do it, because these two if statements are not connected right now, we actually need to connect them by just putting an L, an EL, which is elf or ilf, and it stands for else if. So that means if we're going left, it will just do that. Now if we're going right, it's going to see this and be like, oh, we're not going right, but we are going right here. And if we're not doing either of these, we're just going to idle. So let's play it, and you can see that in fact he is moving up and down pretty fast. So that that is oh, I almost forgot one more thing. So I did say that we should remember that number, which was frame 10. So we need to do an if statement now. If not is on floor. So we're bringing that one back. If it's not on floor, we need to set the sprite.frame equaling that to 10. So we're going to play it. If he jumps in the air, yep, you can kind of tell if you look very closely that he is staying still, that he is not doing any animations, but in fact he is doing one single frame. And then, yeah, that is all for the animations. Now the next important thing is to make sure that it is flipping. So each sprite actually has, if we go to the offset, each sprite has a flip H and a flip V. We want to access this flip H. So we're going to go back into our script here, and we're going to write sprite.flip H. Now for the left, we need to set it equal to true. And then for the right, we just do the exact opposite. Equals false. So now we run this again. And you can see now that he is flipping directions. He's jumping up and down. He's so happy to be here. He's so happy to finally be animated. And that is the end of the video. Thank you for sticking around. This has been Ben Jamin from Jamin Studios.